Welcome into another video, and the Bears got their fourth straight victory, the first time since 2018. It's a great feeling. I was 18 years old the last time the Bears won four straight games. I just graduated high school the last time the Bears have won four straight games, and it's their first time beating the New Orleans Saints since 2008, which I was 8 years old the last time we beat the New Orleans Saints. So a lot of things happening for the first time in a very long time for the Chicago Bears as they defeated the New Orleans Saints 26-14. A lot of people declaring this an ugly win. And did it maybe have some ugly moments? Yes, but a two-score victory at home in the NFL where your defense played lights out and your offense ran for 200-something yards and had 6 scoring drives and scored 26 points. It's a little difficult for me to clarify that as an ugly win. And, you know, that might just be the optimistic Bears fan coming out in me when I'm normally pessimistic. But, the passing game wasn't working. Yeah, there's still some kinks to work out. I think we would all like to see them capitalize on some of them turnovers with touchdowns instead of field goals. But you still scored 26 points. You still had 4 turnovers defensively. I mean, hard to clarify that as an ugly win. Let's get the stats pulled up here. Just an overall great game from the Chicago Bears in general. Look at that. Like, how can you be sitting here being that upset about that? 19 for 124, 6.5 per carry. Kyle Monungai breakout game. 13 for 81, 6.2 per carry with a touchdown. Roschon went 1 for 11. Moore went 1 for 9. Offense was spread out passing through the passing game. Yeah, not an overly great game from Caleb Williams. Probably his worst game of the season. But if you get the worst game of the season from your quarterback and you still win by 12 points and have, running the hell out of the ball, I'll take that. I'm going to take that. Any day of the week. It's the NFL, man. It's not a week-to-week evaluation. It's over the course of the season. It's just about improving and trying to improve week to week. And then if you have a bad week, learn from that and go into next week. It is not a week-to-week evaluation. These things take time. When I was breaking down the Chicago Bears before the season, I thought it was going to be a much more difficult process offensively and also just in terms of winning games. I wasn't thinking that this team was going to be 4-2. I had them around the 2-4, 3-3 stretch. I thought it was going to be a while before this team really got some juice, and I thought they were going to have the juice league into the second half of the season. So when they come out 4-2, your quarterback has been up and down through the first 6 weeks of this offense. It's hard to sit here and bitch about it. Now, we got still 11 games left to play. There's so much ball left. Let's go ahead and get into my big takeaways from their win over the Saints. And number one is that the offense and the defense are kind of starting to blend a little bit here. It's not a full blend, but they're starting to blend a little bit. I know that the defense ranks bottom 10 in yards and points per game, but they are number 1 in takeaways in the NFL with 16 takeaways. The next closest team is the Jacksonville Jaguars with 14, and the Chicago Bears have played one less game than the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're the only team, besides the Pittsburgh Steelers, with 10-plus turnovers in the NFL. Pittsburgh has 10. They have the plus 11 turnover ratio, which is by far the best in the NFL, which it's great. And that's what I'm talking about. They're starting to blend a little bit. They're getting the run game working. The defense is starting to run in full throttle, taking the ball away from teams at a very, very high rate. And that is exactly what you want from this team. This is giving grace to your young, rising quarterback who still has a lot to learn and process. This doesn't put as much weight on his shoulders to go out there and need immediate success to start winning ball games. They're finding ways to win. They're learning how to win when he's not even playing at his best. That's exactly what you want from this team because it doesn't limit their ceiling. If he has a light bulb moment in, let's say, week 10, like Drake May had a few weeks ago, if he has that light bulb moment this season, and it starts to click for him, and we see that on a week-to-week basis, their ceiling is very high. I'm not going to go out there and say Super Bowl or anything like that, but they become legitimate playoff contenders, a team who can win a playoff game this season. If their defense continues to take the ball away, their run game continues to be successful, and he has a light bulb moment and it clicks for him, and they are starting to capitalize off of these touchdown drives, there is no limit to what this team can accomplish in year one, other than probably a Super Bowl or an NFC Championship game appearance. Let's go to my takeaway number 2, and that is the impact of TJ Edwards and Kyler Gordon. Since TJ Edwards came back, he's the highest graded defender on the Chicago Bears. They're finally learning how to stop the run with these two. And I will say, I didn't think it was going to get this much better. I knew there was going to be slight improvement in the run game because TJ Edwards, phenomenal in the run game, filling those gaps, getting to the running back. And Kyler Gordon, one of the best open field nickelback tacklers in football, maybe one of the best open field tacklers in general in the NFL. Really good in the outside zone stuff against the run. But their impact has been substantial because you were seeing about like 4 to 5 really bad drives from the Chicago Bears defense per game. Since they have returned, you've seen about 3 bad drives against the Commanders. The just blown coverage, complete. Here you go. Here's a touchdown, wide open touchdown to Luke McCaffrey. And then the deep ball on the sideline, Jalen Lane, which led to another touchdown. Those were 2 really bad drives. And then this last week, right as the half was ending, allowing them to march right down the field, and then opening drive of the third quarter for them, allowing them to march right down the field. Other than that, they were phenomenal. Like, shut down, take away the ball. Like, they were great. So TJ Edwards and Kyler Gordon's impact has been phenomenal. And then my biggest takeaway, number 3, and it's more just about the Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams and their ceiling, going a little bit deeper into what I was getting at with point number 1. And it's just that, yeah, it's not looking great right now from Caleb Williams. There's been a lot of ups and there's been a lot of downs. But if there's anything that we learned offensively, going into the bye week, their 3 biggest issues were 1, the run game, 2, the penalties, and 3, just not being able to capitalize the touchdowns off of these turnovers, getting into the red zone. And a lot of that has also been from penalties. I mean, we've seen countless time and time again where we are in the red zone and we just keep setting ourselves back and shooting ourselves in the foot. But if you think about it, since the bye week, the run game has been exponentially better. They've just put up 2 of their best performances in the last few seasons over the last 2 weeks of the season. They just need to figure out how to capitalize once they get down there with touchdowns, and they are going to figure that out. Ben Johnson will have a plan for that. I am not hitting the panic button on this team not scoring a whole lot of touchdowns right now. You can tell Ben Johnson's pissed off. This team is the only team in the NFL who have scored 21 plus points in every single game that they have played this season. Every single game that they have played this season. And he's pissed. You look at him on the sideline, he's pissed off. They are 11th in points per game, 13th in yards per game. You look at him on the sideline, they're pissed off. And in terms of Caleb Williams, I think Caleb Williams is really great pre-snap. I think his eyes are always in the right place. He is looking in the right direction. He is going through his reads, his pocket presence, and sack ratio 1,000 times better than it was last season. He is finally starting to occasionally throw the ball away. I know he does a little bit, maybe too much dancing. And I think we've seen that a lot, especially over the course of the last 2 weeks, where he probably has an opportunity to go get 5 yards with his legs, but he's wanting to throw the ball. But he's been playing Jaden Daniels. He's been playing Spencer Rattler. I just think he's in his head maybe a little bit too much right now. But I think his eyes are in the right place. His pocket presence is better. His sack ratio is down. His pre-snap ability is phenomenal. The run game is starting to working. And I think it won't be long before we finally see it all start to click and all piece together. And he starts being on time a little bit better. And because, like, with Mitch Trubisky and Justin Fields, there was never that. There was no progressions. There was no knowledge up here of where you needed to be. There was no clue. You can watch Caleb Williams and realize that he's getting to the right place at the right time. His eyes are in the right place at the right time. It's just about getting him to attack that and getting better at it, because we see the flashes of it. He has extremely high flashes, but he just needs to settle down in this offense. The whole offense as a whole needs to settle down as well. These penalties, these pre-snap penalties, Drew Dahlman not being on the same page with the snap count, everything like that. It's going to mesh. It is going to blend at some point, and we just see a lot of these issues right now with the entire offense as a whole in the passing game, not being on the same page yet, but there's still so many positives to take away from this offense. The fact that they're scoring points at a decently high level, being 11th in scoring, the fact that they're finally getting the run game down. If this can mesh, this is what I was talking about with the ceiling. If this can mesh, there's no limit to this team. Let's take a look at next week's matchup on the road with the Baltimore Ravens, where they open up as 6.5-point favorites. This has got to be one of the biggest spreads I've seen for a 1-5 team to a 4-2 team. But I understand, they're getting Lamar Jackson back. They're getting Roquan Smith back. They're hungry. They're pissed off. They're off the bye week. But I don't know. I was like, damn, 6.5-point favorites. And the key to that is just controlling Lamar Jackson as much as you possibly can. Not letting him kill you with your legs. This Ravens defense has been pretty bad all year long. Pretty bad. So you got to continue to run the ball down their throats. You got to continue to stop the run defensively. You got to control Derrick Henry. You got to control Lamar Jackson. This team has a very high success rate on first and second down when handing the ball off to Derrick Henry. But for some reason, they don't do it a hell of a whole lot often. So I think after the bye, that's probably something they're going to be able to figure out, that they're not doing very well. And they're going to start feeding Derrick Henry a lot more on first and second down. So that's something that you need to be ready for in your matchup against the Baltimore Ravens next week. That is a way that you can win this game, is that if you can take the ball out of Derrick Henry's hands on first and second down. Now, I know that's putting the ball into Lamar Jackson's hands. It's not going to be an easy matchup. Nobody's saying it's going to be easy, but the Ravens defense has been beat up all year long. You have to continue to find success in this running game, get the play action working, get Caleb comfortable. He needs to settle down a little bit, but it is a winnable game for the Chicago Bears. I will say I like the Bears to cover. Let's go with that. I'm not going to go out there and guarantee a Bears victory over the Ravens, but I think the Bears can cover that 6.5-point spread on the road. But the Ravens are going to be hungry. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a very good game. I'm already looking forward to next Sunday. Wow. If we can get to 5-2, that'd be their first time winning 5 straight games since 2018. But if this team can find a way to get to 5-2 and beat the Ravens on the road, my hopes are going to be through the ceiling, through the roof. I'm going to start thinking much differently about this football team. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another video. We will see you guys tomorrow with some Dynasty content and my Week 8 power rankings. Peace.